Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson. We just bid a tearful adieu to Menji. Menji's been here for, over a decade, I think. And just his presence here at KHTS has been phenomenal, so we wish him well. But we are moving on. Our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you by SCVi and iLead Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school. We've got a home study program. You're actually going to hear about our home study program a little bit later on in the show. Excuse me. That is, it's called iLead Exploration. We'll talk about them in just, like I said, about an hour or so. Tell you what, while you're listening to the show, head on over to iLeadSchools.org. You can check out all of our schools from our classroom-based to our independent study, home study, online school, hybrid. We've got every educational format that your child needs because, we need to be teaching the way your child can learn and not vice versa. So yeah, head on over to iLeadSchools.org. Check us out while you're listening to the show. We've got a great one for you. We do keep our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But like the show says, we keep our eye on the valley as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in our valley. And, we try to goof and giggle a little bit while we're doing it because, my mantra, if you can't laugh while you're doing it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. So yeah, happy Friday. How you doing? Did you have a good week? It's we're still not out of the thick of things with the rain. Got a couple drops on the windshield on my way in. Looks like we're gonna get wet in actually just a few minutes. So if you're heading out the door, don't forget your bumper chutes. Bring those umbrellas with you, and stay dry. So yeah, as I mentioned, we've got a great show for you. In just a moment, we've got our newest city council member, Patsy Ayala, joining us here in the studio. She's a newcomer to the city council, bringing new ideas, fresh perspectives, and more energy than a nuclear power plant. We'll check in with her and how it's going with the city in just a moment. In hour number 2, as I mentioned, you will hear actually from the high school team at iLead Exploration, bringing in our high school team. I mentioned them just a few seconds ago. iLead Exploration is our home study option, and you won't believe what they are doing with their home study high schoolers. It is not what you always thought of when you thought of homeschool growing up. If you're one of those people that would say, you know what, homeschool, I could never, you need to listen to this team that we've got coming on in hour number 2. I often say that we should steal Home Depot's tagline that, yes, you can do it and we can help. I hear from families all the time how nervous they were coming into home study, but then instantly they realize how much support they have, how much they really don't have to do everything like they originally thought. And then we're a public school, so we do it all for free. So you can't beat that for tuition. And then we will wrap up hour number 2 like we always do, like Mom makes me, with my stupid big brother calling in. He's got some fun facts. He's got trivia. And then lately he's been, Big T's been getting kind of old, and he's been bringing in his sage advice that Jen loves so much. Jen always seems to really appreciate the little tidbits of advice that Big T brings in. So anyways, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be interesting. So, you know what? Just grab a throw blanket and snuggle up for a little bit. Pour yourself that extra cup of coffee and chill for a while with us and enjoy the show, won't you? Like I said, I'm really excited about our first guest today. She's an absolute powerhouse who's already hit the ground running as our newest city council member. If you've been anywhere in town lately, chances are you've seen her, chatted with her, or felt her infectious energy as she enters the room. I'm talking about the one and only Patsy Ayala. Patsy's background plays kind of like a greatest hits of public service and community involvement, from helping launch a high-tech engineering center at General Electric, to navigating the complexities of state government, to managing crisis like the Aliso Canyon gas leak and with the pandemic, of course. Patsy has done it all, and she's done it with a smile and a determination that's truly inspiring. She's got a degree in computer science, systems management and is taking courses from Yale and Wharton. Talk about a lifelong learner. We really respect that at iLead Schools. It's clear Patsy is always striving to grow and serve her community better. Councilmember Patsy Ayala, welcome to Eye in the Valley.
Good morning. It's a little bit rainy and chilly, but I think the key is to bring the sun in your heart, starting the day, and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the energy I was telling you about. Was I lying? Patsy, you're absolutely amazing. I mentioned a few details kind of regarding your background, a little bit of your education, but your story is so much more complex and richer than that. Can you share a little bit more about yourself? What's your background? What led you to pursue a life in public service? Who is the real Patsy Ayala?
Well, the real Patsy Ayala is a mom of two teenagers that were born and raised in Santa Clarita. I moved to Santa Clarita in 2000, so I have 25 years living here.
Wow.
I moved here with my husband, and we moved here to Santa Clarita because we saw a beautiful city where we can raise a family. And then once we bought our house here, we have Santiago, my first son, and then Rodrigo. And when they started a school, that's when I was like, I'm going to be involved in the schools. And that's how I started public service. Because, I'm like any other mom that you go and then let me help in the classroom. Then I was the room mom. Then I was involved in PTA. And I was doing events and helping the teachers. And then I was the site council for Rio Vista Elementary, representing the school with the South Union School District, and I got involved with the school district.
Yes.
At the same time, we started a business in Santa Clarita, and I got invited to be on the board of directors of the Latino Chamber of Commerce. I also had a radio show where there's a will, there's a way here at KHTS to educate and motivate, because I was always feeling that need of being involved, but also helping other families or guiding families. And I think that was one of my priorities since I've been in Santa Clarita, do family activities. And I was raised in a family, so I was involved all about like, what else can we do for the families? And when I was doing all that with the Latino Chamber, I was involved with businesses and economic development, creating opportunities for businesses in Santa Clarita. I had also the opportunity to go to Sacramento, representing the Latino Chamber of Commerce. And when I arrived to Sacramento, I went with the KHTS bus trip.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa. When I arrived there, I was like, I considered that I was doing some advocacy in Santa Clarita for families and businesses. And when I arrived there, I was like, this is the place to advocate in a larger scale for the things that can happen in my hometown, in Santa Clarita. And it was an eye-opener, and I love it. I love the energy over there that it was incredible for me to see like representatives going from all over the state and making their voice heard, and then voting. And the decisions that are made there is like the education that you have, the water that you drink, where it's coming. I mean, many things for businesses, the conditions. And when I came back, I have that in my mind. And when Senator Scott Wilk, well, now he's our former senator, when he started his term in the assembly, he asked me if I would be part of his government team. And I was like, wow, that's a super nice opportunity. And I was like super honest, and I was like, well, but what can I do? Because I have my background in technology, human resources, marketing. And he told me something like, I would like somebody in my team that cares about the people, and we can serve them, and not really looking for somebody with experience in politics or government. Of course, it is important to be trained, and that's why I took this certificate on Yale about politics and government, and then I continue educating myself when I became part of the California Assembly in the State of California Capital Institute. They have many trainings, but that's literally how I got in there, because it was my involvement with the school district, my involvement with the community, doing community events, engaging, bringing resources, and I think somebody saw that. And that's one of the messages that I give when I go to schools. It's like, always do your best. You don't know who's watching your work. And that will open opportunities for you in your professional career, or as a person, or as a family. You never know who's watching you.
And it's that energy that once it gets plugged in is just gonna grow organically, naturally. So you've served in a lot of different capacities, from PTA and room mom, and it just grew from there. So what was it that made you decide that you were going to be on the front end? You would take that next step and run for city council.
When I was working, well, first I worked in the assembly. Then when Senator Wilk won the seat for the Senate, he invited me also to be part of the Senate. And then I was working with Assemblywoman Valadares, other two. So I worked around 10 years in the state of California legislature. From that, I was able to serve 23 cities and to see very different issues from one city to another. I work with many school districts, and I learned one thing or two city-wise, like what you, in my opinion, of course, just in my opinion, what it's good to do for the cities and what is not.
Okay.
So when it was in the city of Santa Clarita, we moved into having election for districts. There was District 1, where the district that I ran for, that is Newhall and Canyon Country. And when I moved to Santa Clarita in 2000, I was living in Newhall. And then in 2007, when my son was born, we bought another house in Canyon Country. And now I live in Canyon Country. And I was like, those are exactly the two cities that I've been living. And I also was able to serve very diverse communities, super diverse, because it's, I serve from Simi Valley, San Fernando Valley, north, like Porter Ranch, Granada Hills, then Santa Clarita Valley, all the way to Freeway 14, Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, Little Rock, and then moving to the Victor Valley. Victor Valley, and the end of the district for the Senate, it was Apple Valley. So between Simi and Apple Valley, those 23 cities, I realized I can bring that experience of and perspective. I have always super open mind, listening the constituents from Apple Valley, from Santa Clarita, from Porter Ranch when they have the Aliso Canyon, and I was able to resolve some complex issues in government and bring in legislative ideas also to the state legislators that I was representing. And I realized, I can bring that experience, all that package of 10 years with many different things to the city that I live, that I love, and where I raise my kids. And that's why I did it. And then I realized also the factor that this district was made with a specific population, which it was 60% Hispanic, and I am happen to be the chair of the Latino Business Alliance. And I'm not saying, I always, when I was running, my first letter of presentation was like, I am a person with experience in government that already delivered solutions to the state of California and to the constituents. But like a little bonus, like a cherry, that was not the reason. It was like, but I understand all diverse communities. 60% is Hispanic, but all, because I work with all. And I think we need more elected officials that unite our society. Because in politics, you saw a lot division.
Right.
It's like them and us. In my case, it's like it's all about us.
Okay.
And that's I want, and that's why I did it. I was like, I want to be that key factor to bring unity, but at the same time to bring my experience to work for the residents of Santa Clarita.
Fantastic, and we really need that in our world today. Now, the seat on the city council is a pretty coveted seat to hold. There are a lot of folks who who get elected to the Santa Clarita City Council that stay there for a long, long time. So that means you bring not only a fresh face, but new perspectives to the City Council. So let me ask you a two-part question. We'll do the first part first. So what do you see that's going well in our city? Things that we should continue to do? What do you see as things that that citizens of Santa Clarita should be proud of, that you as a council member want to see continue?
Of course, one of the things that I think make us very special is the safety and how much we invest in the budget for our law enforcement.
Okay.
It's around 30%, and you see the difference. We are the third largest city in LA County,
Yes.
and I think that's the number one thing that set us apart from many of the cities in LA County. So I think that's one of the areas that we need to be careful and invest in. And anything that has to do with that safety feeling is like, for example, we have our graffiti task force. That's incredible. I haven't seen any other city that you see something, you report it, and few hours
Get it out of
after
there, yeah.
it's done. It's cleared.
Yeah.
And also I like the fact that Santa Clarita is very family oriented. We are building parks, we're doing also many activities for kids, families, seniors, for everybody. It's super positive. And I also like the fact that our city is very alert and on the top of what is in legislation in Washington and in Sacramento. And then we advocate for our city, for have local control, because we like to make our decisions as much as possible. And of course, sometimes we need to be in compliance with the state of California in things, even if we agree or not. We are respectful of the law, but we are always alert and engaged in what is happening regarding laws. Also, one of the key things for Santa Clarita, I was talking about safety and investing, of course, keep investing in law enforcement and have that environment of safety in Santa Clarita. But I think another boom that I'm gonna that for me is like, it's there, we need to give it importance and supporting, is economic development.
Yes.
Because that's the other thing, that's why people also come here. Like you have an incredible quality of life in Santa Clarita, and economic development will bring, it's bringing the perspective that you can have jobs, and if you help the businesses to create jobs and the conditions, of course, some of that depends from the state of California too, and what is happening in our country. That way you can bring those options to the residents for having jobs and then having a better quality of life.
So, Patsy, we are awesome town, but we are not perfect town by any means. I do want to ask you what areas that you see we can grow in, but we do need to take a quick break. So maybe take a couple of seconds to think about what you think could improve in our city, and then we'll get that when we come back. So you're going to get Councilmember Patsy Ayala's answer to that question. How can we improve our city when we get back? Santa Clarita City Council member Patsy Ayala joins me this morning. She was elected in November and has been serving on the City Council for 3 months now. But she's serving the community for over 20 years, 25 years now, in various capacities. When we get back, like I said, how can we improve as a city? Her perspective on growth, attracting new business, and some of the city's upcoming events and projects. Stick around. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We're really excited this morning. We are joined by the infectious and energetic Patsy Ayala, City Council member representing District 1. Patsy, before the break, you were talking about all the amazing things that our city has become well known for and that continues to attract new residents. But there's, as I mentioned, we are awesome town, but not perfect town. We've got some challenges that we're facing in some areas where our city needs to grow. What do you think our city needs to do in order to improve?
Well, one of the things that is really important to mention is that sometimes we are tied with the laws that are, or the policies that are happening in Sacramento and in Washington. And one of the areas of opportunity that we have is how to grow clever, because unless we put a wall and no other baby is born in Santa Clarita,
Oh,
I think a lot of us were contributing to the growth. I have two boys that were born in Santa Clarita, and many families, so we're contributing, and it's a it's a normal thing. And
Sure.
the world is growing, the country is growing, California is growing,
If
and
you're
I
not
have
growing, you're
breaking
dying. Yes.
news. Santa Clarita is growing too.
yes.
And the thing is the balance that we can have about growing and doing it a clever way, and with infrastructure, and for the population, for everything that is needed in our city. And talking about that is not like Santa Clarita saying, let's build more houses. We have the state of California. Is how do I put it? Is giving every city what they should be building in terms of housing. For
Okay,
example,
so the city kind of
it's-
dictates how
it's
how we
not-
need to grow.
it's not the city, it's the
Or
state of
I'm sorry,
California. It's the
The
state of
dictates to
California.
each city things that they need to do in order to be
Exactly.
in compliance.
So
Okay.
it's not, for example, and they say for Los Angeles, you need to, because you're growing, you need to build this many units for housing. For Santa Clarita, the state did, they told us you need to do 10,000 houses. We are way behind. We are way behind. It's not a number that we established, is the state of California. So, of course, we don't do it. We don't do housing. We do government.
Sure, sure. So
But
you authorize projects, but you're not the developers.
exactly. So, but we don't just authorize projects like, yeah, let's authorize it. It's like, of course, they are developers.
Right.
They buy the land. It's a private land that they buy, and they do a project. It comes to the city for planning commission, and the city oversees that everything is with the requirements with our municipal code and with the state of California, and that passes everything. But that's one of the challenges now that you
Sure.
were asking me. But I just want to explain that it's not really the city. And we're way behind. And of course, projects are coming to the city, and the city is evaluating if it's a good fit for the city or not. And I also want to let anybody know that you can be part of the process, because in planning commission you can make your opinion, you can send a letter, and everything is reviewed. All the points of view are reviewed in order before it's the city, and well, there are 5 planning commissioners and 5 city council members. Before we vote, we study, we take everything in consideration. That's one of the challenges about the growth, and how we can do it in the best way for our city. Another challenge that I see, of course, is maintaining a good environment for businesses, because it's super sad when you see a business is closing.
Yeah.
So we are working very closely with our business organizations, with the EDC. We have our economic development department in the city to promote tourism, and also have events, and to bring more traffic to the businesses. And we have wonderful business organizations that they also encourage and help our businesses in the city. Another challenge that I see with economic development is bringing jobs. And fortunately, we have stories of success, like, for example, Vallarta was in the San Fernando Valley in 3 buildings, separated buildings. They realized in Santa Clarita is a beautiful city with the right conditions for businesses. And now they have one beautiful headquarters, all together, more efficient for a company. So we would like to share those stories of success and the conditions that we have, the perfect conditions that we have in Santa Clarita, considering we are in the state of California, to make business. Also, another area of opportunity that I see is to have more recreational places, for example, an amphitheater or any, or improve even our park facilities. The city has been doing an incredible job, and it's on the plan for this coming year and the next year, doing improvements to the park. For example, we have the Old Orchard Park that now it's going to be renewed. It's going to be beautiful, and there are more projects like that in Santa Clarita. And of course, there's always I think if you think in Santa Clarita 10 years ago, or what you have, if you have done this question, and I think you always, well, at least me personally, I'm with the idea that I'm grateful for what our city council members have done, and I'm very excited to be part of the new decisions to bring that good things for our city, because I'm always thinking as a mom, as a professional, and now as a representative, what other families would like. More jobs, more parks, more services, and we are creating that. We have wonderful things to do here, and we also have wonderful schools and nonprofits. We have more than 100 nonprofits that they are engaging, and that's incredible, helping each other for our city.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned how important growth is, and our city continues to grow, but a lot of the residents here, especially those that have been around as long as you and I, really do hold on to the history and the charm of our city. So how do we balance that growth and development with preserving our unique character and quality of life here in Santa Clarita?
Well, Old Town Newhall, where we are right now, I think is the perfect example, because I love the history of Santa Clarita. We cannot deny our roots. And I really love the Western heritage that we have. That's why I'm mentioning Old Town Newhall is a incredible example of that we are respecting that character. And on that topic, the city is in transition with LA County to receive the William S. Hart Park.
Yes.
And that is a jewel for Santa Clarita of history. And once that transition happens, I can totally envision the city, all of us working for maintaining the Western feeling, and maybe have an update on things and do some maintenance and do more things for being a regional park with that with the museum, of course, that the mansion that we have, and maybe other Western feeling things that can happen there. And talking about that, we have the Cowboy Festival. That's I think that creates a lot of identity of Santa Clarita.
Yeah, definitely. So it's it almost seems obvious, but as far as attracting new residents, as we're developing these new homes and continuing to grow, what would you say are our greatest draws in the city? What does the city of Santa Clarita offer for new families?
Well, I will say more than for new families, because it's not like we're promoting for new families. I think for all the residents. I mean, if you are new or not new, all that we have is offered for our residents.
Right.
Period. We when I moved here, I remember in 2000, and we are still doing it in the city. When I received for the first time the Seasons magazine, I was like, wow, this is amazing. You see all the options that you have, because you have classes, very affordable classes, free events or even classes, and also because this is made quarterly, the Seasons magazine, you see, like, for example, now we're gonna have the extravaganza, the season things that usually we celebrate. The city is involved, so nobody is left behind. No celebrating Christmas, Thanksgiving. We do many of those things engaging, and I think that what makes Santa Clarita very special, because we are not only providing services, we are engaging with our community.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So, speaking of seasons, you mentioned all the different events that the city continues to put on. What's coming up this season? What are some of the events that the city's putting on?
I brought a list. Let me you tell me when I'm done with time because we do a lot.
Okay.
But I have to tell you,
Maybe just hit some of the highlights.
Okay, I'm going to highlight some.
Okay.
Census block parties return on Thursday, March 20th at 7 p.m. in Old Town Newhall. This first theme will be Alley Oop, a basketball-themed census block party celebrating March Madness.
Yes.
For more information on future themes, please visit santaclarita.gov/census. We also have I was mentioning the Cowboy Festival.
Yeehaw.
Woohoo! Yes, take out those cowboy hats and boots because Cowboy Festival is returning to William S. Hart Park on Saturday, April 12th and Sunday, April 3rd from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It was a blast last year. You cannot miss
much
it.
Fun.
Yeah, dance, eat, play. Oh my God, it is a lot of fun. And also enjoy live music, authentic barbecue, delicious Dutch oven peach cobbler.
Yes.
And activities for the whole family. We also are going to have Feastability, presented by UCLA Health, will be held at West Creek Park on Sunday, May 4th from 12 to 3 p.m. Formerly known as the Free to Be Me Festival, this event features an inclusive playground, live music, adaptive performances, active storytelling, face painting, and more. The event is free and open to residents for all ages and abilities. The Celebrate, oh my God, I love this one. You gotta go because
this one took me by surprise. I wasn't sure how successful this was going to be. But hundreds of people head out to Canyon Country Community Center. Tell our listeners about Celebrate, Patsy.
Celebrate series takes residents on a world tour starting with a stop in Ireland on Friday, May 9th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Canyon Country Community Center. Usually every month we have a different country from a different continent. This year I realize it's also going to be Colombia. But you can check the website and you are immersed. You don't need to travel. We bring you the countries here.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, you can travel if you want, but we are bringing that opportunity for our residents. We contacted sometime the consulate. We bring that type of food, that type of music. Oh, last year, it was Brazil in one of the months.
I remember.
We have a carnival, a lot of music. Oh, my God. Even the drinks are like theme for
and
the
city staff set up like a tiny little Amazon adventure experience. It was like being in the rainforest. It was amazing. And then when Japan was there were sumo wrestlers and Japanese food. It was great. So I can't wait for Ireland. That's where my folks are from.
Yes.
And oh boy.
Oh, yes. See you there. Come to all of them. It's super nice every time that you see how Santa Clarita transformed our Canyon Country Community Center in a country.
Oh, absolutely. And when Colombia comes, you're going to want to get out and get some arepas. Oh, so good.
Yes.
Okay.
They are so good. So with that, you can enjoy food, live music, and interactive experiences representing those cultures. And I love to enjoy the traditions and learn because, our city, we have residents from all over the world, I can tell. And it's super nice to learn about other cultures. And I appreciate what we have in Santa Clarita. And this is one of the things that you can experience different things.
So, Patsy, I do have a few more questions for you. Originally, I had asked if you could stay until 8:45. Do you have time to stick around maybe another 15 more minutes so we can take a break and get to these last few questions?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
I love to stay with you, Santa Clarita.
Fantastic. Well, stick around because I want to hear about some of the projects that we've got coming up planned in the city. You mentioned economic development. That's very important to our community, and so I want to get into that as well. We've got Council Member Patsy Ayala joining us. She's been on the City Council for 3 months, but already really dug her feet in and is making an impact. And we'll hear more from Council Member Patsy Ayala when we get back. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. And we're very fortunate this morning. We are joined by City Council member Patsy Ayala. She's representing District 1, but she is working hard for everyone here in the city. Patsy, you mentioned as we were talking before about the importance of attracting and keeping strong businesses, small businesses, and some even large businesses as well here to our city. So how's the city supporting local businesses, and what new businesses are coming soon?
The success of our local business is imperative to the success of our city. Last year, the city of Santa Clarita launched Size Up Santa Clarita. This is a free online market research and business intelligence tool. Since its launch, Size Up Santa Clarita has been used by hundreds of local entrepreneurs and small businesses to these things. One, benchmark performance compared to industry competitors. Optimize advertising to target ideal customer segments. Discover customers and suppliers and analyze demographics, labor force, consumer base of the area, and explore potential sites for a business. Santa Clarita welcomes businesses of all sizes and encourages those interested in opening a small business to explore the Size Up Santa Clarita tool by visiting sizeupsantaclarita.com. Also, businesses is booming in Santa Clarita with the several new shops opening their doors soon. In the new now that you were asking about the some of the new businesses, okay, drum roll. What is coming to Santa Clarita? Well, in the new San Canyon Plaza, there will be Sprouts, The Habit, Jersey Mike's, Chipotle, Handles, Starbucks, and counting. Around town, other new businesses include Pinkberry on Golden Valley Road, Indian Garden Restaurant at River Oaks Center on Magic Mountain Parkway, Main Chick Hot Chicken on Soledad Canyon Road in the Regal Theater Center, Pasha Medical Day Spa on McBean. Society Pizza will be replacing Victory Pizza on Main Street, and the 24-hour fitness near Costco on Via Princesa will be demolished to make room for reconfiguring of the Costco fueling station. So that's not in a shell. That's why I put it on the list so I don't forget.
Okay. So I don't know if you're on social media as much as I am, but what Santa Clarita really wants to know is, what about Portos? When are we getting a Portos?
Actually, we all love Portos.
I know.
I think we are all advocating for Portos. If you're listening to us, we love you. We like your cheese rolls.
Oh my gosh, it's something that we've been begging for so long. It's become a social media joke. Every time something's going on in the city, everyone
Let
says,
me tell
Portos.
you, when I was working, I had the opportunity of working in the assembly with, now our Senator Suzette Valladares. There was the grand opening of the last Portos in Northridge.
Okay.
Let me tell you, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Busy. The lines were like around, and if you still go to that Portos, it's constantly.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's what Portos is looking for, a location anywhere in LA. Why not Santa Clarita, right?
There we go.
Is constantly like that, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned all the amazing events we have coming up this season, but I know the city's working on some projects as well. And, you know, it's funny, as you drive around town, you see the bulldozers, you see the tractors, you see construction going on, and we always wonder, what's going on over there? So, Patsy, what is going on over there? What are some of the upcoming city projects that our listeners should be aware of?
Well, the city has very exciting things coming up. This summer, of course, we are going to have the transfer of William S. Hart Park to the city of Santa Clarita.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, this is happening. It's happening this year.
And it really makes sense. Like you said, it is such a jewel for the Santa Clarita Valley. The county's maintained it for a long, long time and done a great job, but it makes much more sense for it to be run by the city that really does treasure that property.
Yeah, for us it's super special. It's about keeping, maintaining, and we give a great value of that jewel in our
Yes,
city. So
absolutely.
we're very excited.
But what other projects are happening?
Well, with that, we will reopen the Hart Mansion Museum, which is full of the personal belongings, cowboy memorabilia, and Western art of the silent film legend. Hart Park also comes with a herd of bison, which we were gifted to Hart from Disney, and that's very special.
Don't call them buffalo; they're bison.
Bison,
Yes.
exactly. There is also a barnyard, campsite, and many incredible historic structures that tell the story of our city's roots. The transfer will also allow the city to enhance many of the beloved events to call Hart Park home, including the Santa Clarita Cowboy Festival and the West Powwow. Another exciting project is underway at Central Park, the much anticipated River of Lights.
Yes.
LED lights will stream down the hillside along the exercise staircase through the plaza to the new art piece. The lights will be color changing and mimic the look of running water streaming down the hillside. The lights can also be illuminated in various colors to celebrate different holidays. So we will see a lot of color and enthusiasm there.
It'll make it a lot more enjoyable for people that I know how many people head out there and run up and down those stairs. That'll be exciting.
There are many. I'm happy for all the things that are happening, but this one, it's really, I'm ready. I'm like 5, 4, 3. And the next one that I'm really, really excited is the Rink Sports Pavilion. I'm a skate person.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
And a roller skate
Roller
person.
skating.
Is currently under construction at the Santa Clarita Sports Complex. This state-of-the-art facility will offer a large wood surface that has multiple uses, including a roller skating rink, full-size basketball court, 3 pickleball courts,
More pickleball.
volleyball court, and spectacular seating, a commercial kitchen, DJ booth.
Nice.
And exactly, and more. This rink is expected to be completed in 2026.
Oh, coming up.
Other parks news is undergoing renovation with brand new playground equipment, the installation of a large shade structure, improvements to the current restroom building, as well as pickleball court overlay on the existing basketball court. At the end of the last year, we welcomed residents to the city's 3rd community center. The newest community center is the Valencia Community Center, formerly the YMCA at the Summit Park. Now offers programs, events, and activities for residents of all ages, as well as the city's first indoor pool. You know, for the winter, some people.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I have to tell you something. My husband is a swimmer. Well, he likes to swim from all his life. He has been swimming. It doesn't matter if it's January or if it's July, he goes to swim.
Okay.
But for some people that if they think it's too cold, and now we have an indoor pool in the city.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And for the latest on everything happening in the city of Santa Clarita, make sure you follow Santa Clarita on social media at City of Santa Clarita. You can also follow the Spanish social media pages at Ciudad de Santa Clarita para los que hablen en español.
Claro. Me encanta. Me encanta. We love it. So I didn't realize that the city had its own Spanish language website, not just a little bit of a translation
social
on the URL.
media.
And social media. I love it. And again, I always forget city as well. I always try to do at Santa Clarita. No, it's at City of Santa Clarita or @Ciudad de Santa Clarita. I love that. Fantastic. Patsy, we've only got a couple of seconds left. Anything quick that you want to say before we go?
I'm very proud to be representing the residents of Santa Clarita. I would love to continue to be your voice. So please feel free to contact me at the City of Santa Clarita. Send me an email, call me. What would you like to be for us to do in the city? I'm always with my ears open, with my heart open, and of course with my strong arms to work for the city.
Love it. Voice of the community, Patsy Ayala, she's still got that new council member smell. She's motivated. She's energized. Thank you so much for joining me today. We really appreciate you coming in and extending and giving us a little bit extra time. You have a wonderful weekend, Patsy.
Thank you.
And you stick around. When we get back, we'll talk to the high school team from iLead Exploration. That is our home study program, and I can already hear you reaching for the dial. No. This is a home study program that you can do. You think you know home study, but you don't, Nemo. You've never met a home study team like iLead Exploration. So we will hear from them when we get back. I am Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. Joining me now is the high school leadership team from iLead Exploration. I've been talking about them all morning long. iLead Exploration, of course, is the home study division of iLead Schools. And, you know, it's funny. Whenever I talk about our home study and the amazing things that our staff and students are doing at iLead Exploration, people will always say either one of two things. If they've never done home study before, their comment is usually starts with, "Oh, I could never." But if they are enrolled at iLead Exploration, they invariably say, "I can't believe how easy it is and how supportive my EF is." Their EF is their credentialed teacher assigned specifically to each family to help support them in their independent study journey. So I want to welcome in Jenna Clement and Heather Fecarotta. Welcome to Eye on the Valley. So glad you're here.
Hi, thanks for having
Matt.
us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So now I want to just jump right into it. Charter schools can be hard to find sometimes. So unless you're Googling charter school near me, they can be tough to find. So we always like to start with the question when we bring on staff: how did each of you come to find iLead, and what drew you to our independent study or our home study program specifically?
Heather, you want to
I'll
go?
first. This is Heather Fecarotta, one of the high school counselors. So for me, this is my 5th year with iLead Exploration. Prior to that, I worked in both traditional public school and a traditional in-person private school. What drew me to iLead, honestly, was just doing some research. I'm part of some counselor Facebook groups, and it had come up actually with Laura Kazan. She is the college advisor on staff at iLead Exploration, and she had made a comment on one of the posts that I was reviewing. So I reached out to her privately and asked her, how she likes working in independent study. And from there, when they had an opening, I applied, and I've loved it ever since.
And what about you, Jenna?
Yes, this is Jenna. So I've worked in counseling for about 15 years, and I've been in the higher ed setting at a college. I've also worked at a traditional public school as well as in private practice as an educational consultant. And during that time, I had my own 2 children who are now elementary age, and I had made the decision to actually educate them through independent study homeschool learning. As a family, we decided that that was really the model of education that we wanted our kids to be brought up with. And after doing that with them for about 5 years, I said, why don't I work in this sector of education as well? Because I feel like I can be an asset to iLead's learners, because I'm not just I don't just have the knowledge of the counseling side of it, but I'm also a parent navigating this from the parent side of it. So why not put it all together? And that's how I found the position at iLead. And so I've been with iLead for 1 year. This is my first year with iLead, but I worked in high school counseling for about 15 years now.
Oh, phenomenal experience. I love that in today's environment, families have that choice, Jenny, that, you can determine what is best for your child and then go out and find it. It is so important. So, Jenna, what's your current role with iLead Exploration? What do you do with us?
So just like Heather, I'm a high school counselor, and both of us serve on the academic side of counseling.
Okay.
So our role is to meet with high school learners and to basically help guide them through their 4 years, help them choose their classes, meet their goals post-high school graduation, and really just run through all of their options while they're a part of our high school program.
And Heather, I may be getting ahead of myself, but one of the things that I always marvel about, and I know our families, especially our high school families, love so much, is our families, our high school learners get so much more attention from their counselors in our independent study program than they even would on a lot of the larger campuses. I remember my daughter graduating high school and complaining that they didn't have any counselors. I said, sweetie, you had 4 of them, and she had never met any of them. So before we get into everything that you do for our students, I want to clarify something that I always need to clear up when we talk to our teams from iLead Exploration. We call iLead, I call anyways, and I get in trouble for doing it. I call iLead Exploration our homeschool division, and I know a lot of our families refer to going to iLead Exploration for homeschool. But like I said, I always get slapped on the hand for that. Can you share with our listeners where I go wrong, and then what the benefits of enrolling in an independent study, which is really what your program is? What are the benefits of enrolling in independent study?
Yeah, so the benefit of independent study is you can do a traditional homeschool model, but the learners are still technically enrolled in an accredited, public school.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the great thing about it. We do. I would say I don't know too much on the elementary side of our school, but once we get to high school, we really try to train the parents and the learners to know that they're part of a public school. Sometimes the homeschooling quote gets us in trouble when they're trying to do concurrent enrollment, and they put that down. So, but no, I think, we do a lot of stuff to, really support our learners. We have classes that we offer now in person, which is, they're live, not in person, but they're live on Zoom. Obviously, our learners also have the opportunities to go to learning centers, in addition to, quote, the true homeschool version where, their parent may be their full support at home as their teacher.
Oh, was there something that you were going to add? Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So a big part of the support that iLead Exploration delivers to its families is what you all bring as high school counselors. I mentioned it just a few minutes ago. It always amazes me, the incredible service, the individualized, customized high school counseling experience that you give to your high schoolers. So can you tell us what your team focuses on and how you support our high school learners?
Yeah, so I'll jump in here. This is Jenna again. Okay. So we pride ourselves on accessibility and communication. So each of our counselors has a link to our calendar that a learner can schedule a meeting literally at any time. They can just click on the link, find an available slot, and meet with us. We do meet with every single learner at least once a year for about an hour to just talk with them. What are their interests? What are their goals? How are things going? What changes can we make? How can we help prepare you for your, post-grad plans? So we do that at least once a year, but we're available all year to meet with learners, more than once. And then in addition to our meetings, we also have communication that goes out year-round. We have counselor chats, which focus on a different area that we want to highlight, like testing or stress management or extracurricular activities. We also have different emails, the high school happenings, which highlight our events and social gatherings and all of our important dates. We have a program called SCORE, which helps students search for colleges that are the best fit. We have a program called Youth Science, which is this incredible, kind of like quizzes, brain games that will help a student figure out what career they might be really good at. So we have all of these resources, all of this communication, but the biggest thing is the accessibility. Like you said, with your daughter never having met a counselor, I've heard that far too many times. Yeah. When I worked in the public school setting, my caseload was 750 students. There isn't enough time in a school year to be able to meet with 150 students individually for an hour and talk to them. But at iLead, we have a small caseload of students so that we can give them that individualized attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the in-person meetups. I remember there was a group of your high schoolers not long ago that organized a Friday night meetup at a local In-N-Out. And then
Yep.
you've got field trips and all these different things. You mentioned you're doing live Zoom classes. You've got, and then now we're talking about the full wraparound customized counseling services that you provide. So let's talk about that college-bound kid. If my kid is on that college track, things like the SAT are going to be very, very important. Are iLead Exploration learners able to, because I remember I always went to my brick and mortar high school to take my SATs. Are your learners at iLead Exploration able to go somewhere to take the SATs? Do they take them remotely? How does that work when they're in a independent study? It's not homeschool, it's independent. How does that work for your learners?
Yeah, so every year we have offered the TSAT for the past several years for all of our learners in person at our learning center in Orange County. But for the actual SAT, we are actually offering it today for the first time to our learners, also in our OC Learning Center. But like you mentioned, Matt, back in the day, you would just sign up at your local brick and mortar. Our learners can still do that too, especially if they don't live anywhere near Costa Mesa. But it's just the same. But we are now starting to offer the SAT for our learners, which is amazing.
And we also offer AP testing, which is huge for an independent study program.
Yes.
If even though there's just one student that signs up for the AP test, we will offer it in person for our learners.
Oh, fantastic. And that is so important. So you mentioned that you meet with every high schooler once a year, and anytime they want to schedule an appointment, you are there and you're constantly communicating with them. But I know that every first and third Friday, you also offer a college info series. Every first and third Friday. That's amazing. So what are some of the topics that you present for our iLead Exploration learners that are getting excited about college?
Yeah, so our college and career advisor, Laura Kazan, is sort of the main person that puts these presentations together. Heather and I jump on them here and there too. But we have presentations that go over how to choose extracurricular activities that are meaningful, breakdown of what the UCs and the Cal State universities are looking for admission. We talk about financial aid, how to build a balanced college list to really maximize the potential of getting accepted. I mean, anything that you can think of when it comes to college admission, we've got a webinar on that.
Okay, so
I think my favorite webinar Matt, real quick. I think my favorite webinar we do is like it's like a mock admissions where, we present cases and we ask our participants in our webinar to decide who they would admit and why. And we've had a great turnout for that one, and it's a whole lot of fun for all of us. And I do want to add, in addition to these college info series, we do take learners on college tours, and we have one coming up on March 26th to Cal State Long Beach. So super excited there to take the learners on a tour at Long Beach State.
Gosh, so all these things that families would think that they would miss by being involved in an independent study program. No. You're providing all of those and going so much further beyond. And so clearly it is a myth that homeschoolers don't typically go to college. Y'all are not only preparing your kids for college, you're helping them practice their admissions interviews and things like that. You're blowing that myth way apart. So can you share with us some of the colleges? It is springtime, and so some of those admissions have got to be rolling in. Where are some of the colleges that your learners are getting into, or at least thinking about for the fall?
Well, so far we've had one learner is for sure going to Pepperdine.
Oh.
We've had several admitted to Long Beach State. We have had at least one, I think, admitted to UC Davis.
Nice.
So they're starting to roll in now. Hopefully they'll all get theirs by the college's deadline of April 1.
Sure.
And so they're starting to really come in now where everyone's going. And it's great to watch, and they get so excited when they get their admissions decisions. So we're super happy for them.
Yeah, it is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always wanted to go to Pepperdine, but I knew myself, and I knew that if I was going to school in
Yeah.
Malibu, I would never be in class.
Right.
Ah,
Our learner
gosh.
that's going to, real quick, our learner that's going to Malibu got a full ride.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
incredible. A full
He's
ride to
amazing.
Pepperdine is
Yes.
not common. That is phenomenal. Wow. So,
Correct. It's not common.
no, it's not. No, it's not. In fact, college admissions anywhere can be super competitive, and students want to get into those top tier schools need to have things like the AP classes that you mentioned, student leadership opportunities like ASB or clubs on their applications. That can be really hard in an independent study, a home study model. Is iLead Exploration able to provide anything at all like that? Because I gotta be honest, if my kid doesn't have options for those types of opportunities to really boost their college resume, it's gonna be a non-starter for a lot of those families that have their child on a college going track.
Yeah, we have a lot of the really similar opportunities to traditional schools. We do offer ASB, we have National Honor Society, we have clubs, all sorts of clubs, and our learners are the ones that are coming up and creating these clubs. So they're not just members, but they're the founders or the presidents, they're the officers. So we have all of those good things that traditional schools offer. But with the flexibility of their schedules, our learners really have the opportunity to be unique and to pursue the things that they are most interested in. We have learners that are pursuing robotics, they're pursuing acting, they're pursuing working with horses and like things that they can't do during the day if they were at a school setting from 8 o'clock to 3:30. So they're all over with their interests, and I think that's really interesting to colleges. Is that they're unique and their interests are getting to be pursued on such a deep level because they have the time and the flexibility to do that.
So you mentioned that you meet with each one of your learners once a year in order to kind of guide where they're going. Are they heading to college? Are they going into career? And so you meet with them for at least an hour, at least once a year. How early does that work start? When do you start working with learners when you're planning for graduation pathways, whether it's college, career, military, especially though those that are planning on applying to college? When do you start meeting with them?
Yeah, so springtime of 8th grade. So right now,
as early as
Jenna,
8th grade.
the other counselor, Beth, and I are meeting with all of the upcoming 9th graders. So they're currently in 8th grade. We're meeting with them now to discuss their high school path, some plans, what's going to be different in high school than middle school.
Oh, wow.
We go over a lot of things with them. And now, Matt, to be honest with you, most 14-year-olds don't have any idea what they want to do after they graduate high school. So,
some 44-year-olds don't either, so that's okay.
Yeah. So, we kind of talk through them, what pathway would be best for them to at least start out on. We could make changes. And we always tell them that as we progress through high school, we're going to be meeting regularly. So this plan is going to be updated at least, like Jenna said, once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So you help them get their eye on the ball and then keep their eye on the ball and thinking about, what do I want to do? I don't know. But they know what classes they should be taking if they want to follow the different pathways. So important. It blows my mind that you're starting that college guidance process with them as early as 8th grade. That is phenomenal. The high school team from iLead Exploration joins me this morning. They are iLead's independent study program. You can call it home study, but I'm not. Most of their families do. They pronounce it homeschool. But when we get back, we're going to talk to them. I'm going to grill them on some of the hard ones: career prep, concurrent enrollment, and the big one, socialization. We've touched on it a little bit already, but I really want to hit that one hard. Stay tuned. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
Green Thumb International, your lawn and garden professionals, have the widest
it's
variety
so hard
of shrubs,
without a visual. I don't know if I'm on air, not on
lies
air.
in the Santa Clarita Valley. Condition and fertilize your soil. Water does not easily penetrate clay soils and may pass too quickly beyond the root zone of plants in sandy soil. Adding organic matter to these soils will help correct imbalances and reduce water waste. On Newhall Avenue in Old Town Newhall near Sierra Highway, Green Thumb puts the green in your thumb.
Imagine never paying for groceries again. From now to March 31st, every time you shop and save using the Grocery Outlet app, you get a chance to win free groceries for life. You can see all the incredible deals we have in stock, like fresh produce, premium meats, and all your favorite brands. Don't wait. Shop with the app today at your neighborhood grocery outlet for your chance to be one of the 2 winners who will receive $500 monthly for 40 years. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply. Many will enter. Few will win. See groceryoutlet.com for details.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Hey, we are back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm joined this morning by Jenna Clement and Heather Fecarotta. They lead the high school team at iLead Exploration along with their colleagues, and they help provide just the tremendous, incredibly personalized high school counseling experience for their learners. You can call them homeschool. I ain't gonna. Their school is a free public TK through 12th grade charter school. We didn't touch on that. Yeah, transitional kindergarten. Y'all got the babies all the way through high school, and it is free, no tuition. What part of free don't you understand? We are a public school, a public charter school that you can enroll in today. Again, it's called iLead Exploration. Now, at iLead, we also offer career and technical education pathways. Heather, Jenna, what are some of the benefits to the learners for completing a CTE or a career technical education certification? What are some of those benefits?
So, it gives them kind of an idea of what a career in that particular field might look like for them. I think really importantly, it prepares them for higher education in that field. Mm-hmm. They've got a firm foundation in what that might look like. So moving on to whether it's trade school or, community college, 4-year university, they've got that foundation laid. And then, it also could be a bragging point on their college application.
Yeah, that I've got those certifications. The first time I was really introduced to this idea of preparing for a specific career when you're in high school was when I was living out of the country. I was teaching at a school where the high schoolers, starting in 9th grade, chose a major, right? And they would major in chemistry and physics, or they would major in the humanities, things like that. And I thought, wow, in the U.S., we just kind of focus on general education, but it is a good idea to get our kids started thinking toward career and the future, and what a great way to get their feet wet, especially if they get into a career that maybe they're not as excited about. Great time to change your path rather than much later on as you're pursuing a career or a degree in college. So you've got these different pathways. What are some of the pathways that are currently available at iLead Exploration, or some of the pathways that are coming up for next school year in the fall of 2025?
Yeah, actually, I just want to touch on that because that's something that I share with my learners all the time. Like, I would love it for you to take a CT class and for you to be like, this is absolutely the career I'm going to pursue. But I also would love it if you take it and decide that you dislike this so much that you don't want to pursue it in college.
Yes.
But I think that's great to find out when you're in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, before you've committed your tuition dollars and your time.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, yeah, you're right on with that. But some of the pathways we have our arts and entertainment, media pathway. We've got business and finance, education and child development. There's a really cool health and science pathway. Students want to kind of learn to work with, patient care, nursing, and in the medical field. There's also one for public service if they're thinking of law enforcement. So lots of different CTE pathways, as well as possibly taking college classes that could give them those certifications too. We've got some learners that are pursuing their pilot's license. Another one that is starting classes in auto mechanics. So I think the door is really wide open for that.
Incredible. And if that wasn't enough, your learners at iLead Exploration, and I know families always ask this question, our families are getting so savvy now in 2025, they're asking about concurrent enrollment courses at local community colleges. Y'all offer that as well, right? What does that look like in an independent study, not necessarily homeschool, independent study program?
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for our learners. So it's essentially them taking classes at the community college, earning credit for college and high school at the same time. We call it double dipping.
Okay.
It depending on, what they want to take. They can take their core classes at the community college, English, math, science, social studies, or, piggybacking on the CTE, a lot of them take CTE classes. Last year, 2 of my grads were full commercial pilots by the time they graduated from high school because they had done all of that pilot work at the community college. 2 years prior to that, I had a learner already ready to be employed as a welder because he did all of his welding classes to get his certificate in welding while he was in high school. So it's a great opportunity to start earning college credit, especially if you're 4-year university bound, or doing trade school classes. It's amazing. I can't say all, but most community colleges in the state of California are tuition free to high school learners.
Oh. So again, not only are they getting the tuition that doesn't exist at iLead Exploration for free, then they're able to enroll concurrently in the local junior college for free and graduate high school with their pilot's license, their welding certificate. Parents, don't sleep on a career in welding. It is extremely high paying. Wow.
Yes.
That is amazing. You guys are almost making a 4-year university obsolete. Jeesh. But you are preparing your kids going on. You mentioned almost, yeah, except for that kid that you guys got a full ride to Pepperdine for. So one of the things that families who enroll, when they enroll in a home study or an independent study program, is the social opportunities. That's always been the first, the last, and the biggest knock against what we would consider a home study program is the lack of social opportunities. So, is there a lack of social opportunities? Does iLead Exploration offer any of those outlets like clubs or other extracurriculars?
There is no lack of social opportunities. So, yes, there is clubs. The clubs are usually on Zoom. Sometimes they do meetups as well. And we've got clubs in such a variety of interests. I'm the advisor for the book club. There's Dungeons and Dragons club. There's fashion club. I mean, anything you can think of.
Oh, wow.
And then in addition to the live Zoom meetings, we do offer in-person things throughout the year. We've done beach days, bowling days, escape rooms. I'm trying to think, Heather, what are some of their social opportunities?
I think they're going to Boomers and Irvine in next week, I think. But the thing is, Matt, our school is over 5 counties. So it's hard to offer, right, a lot of in-person things all at once. So, but our team of high school plan things in all the different areas, all the different counties. So, the thing in Boomers and Irvine this week, but a few weeks ago they were, bowling in Torrance or something. So we try to offer something in all of our different areas. So every iLead learner has the opportunity to attend our social opportunities.
So I'm glad you mentioned that because it gives us the opportunity to stop down and let our families know where you guys serve. You are authorized right here up the road in Acton, Agua Dulce, but could you explain that in a little bit deeper terms? You serve families where now?
So Los Angeles County, Kern County, Orange County, San Bernardino County, and who am I missing?
Ventura.
There we go.
Ventura, yes, Ventura.
Okay, so it's basically LA County or any county that touches that. So
That's
Ventura,
right. Yes.
Kern, San Bernardino, Orange, and then, of course, Los Angeles County. If you're in any one of those counties, you can attend our school completely free. And then what I love is that you have your EFs, the credentialed teachers that support our families. They're all local, right? So if you do live out in Orange County or Ventura, Ojai, as far away from where I'm at right now in San Bernardino, the person that's supporting you and your kid are going to be local. They're going to be nearby, right?
That's right. Yes, they try to match you with EFs that are in your local area.
Okay. So we were talking about all of these different social opportunities, clubs and different meetups and things like that. And you said there is no lack at all. But I'm going to press you on that a little bit because especially as kids get into high school, some of those important milestones you guys might be missing. I'm talking about prom, grad night, graduation ceremony. Those are important. How do you do that when you're that expansive?
Did we miss the best part? So we offer all of those. We have a prom, we have a grad night, and we have a graduation ceremony. We give lots of, headway so that you know where it's going to be. This year, our prom is at the House of Blues in Anaheim, and that location will change every year. And our grad night is at Disneyland. You can't get any better than that.
Right.
And then our graduation ceremony is at a really cool theater in Fullerton. So we offer all of those very traditional and special milestones for high school students to take part in. We're very excited.
You're doing prom at House of Blues. How cool is that? That's going to be absolutely amazing. So I started out by telling families that at iLead Exploration, we're a lot like Home Depot. Yes, you can do it. We can help. You're providing families with the support, as much support or as little support. If you're that homeschool expert that says, I got this, then our staff will lean back and just let you go. So, Jenna, Heather, where can families go to learn a little bit more about your program? Because I'm sure families are a lot more savvy than I am. They've got questions that I haven't asked you. Where can they go for more information?
You can start at our website, iLeadExploration.org, and or you can email us with questions. Our email is highschool@iLeadExploration.org. So either of those would be a good place to start to get more information or contact us with individual questions.
Okay, so iLeadExploration.org is the website. You guys have got a lot of information. In fact, your guys' website is amazing with all the different opportunities that are constantly popping for your families, whether they're the younger ones or the high schoolers. Your website, iLeadExploration.org, is a phenomenal resource. I see on here you've also got information sessions. In fact, y'all have uploaded a recorded video of one of your information sessions so families can just view it there, on their own schedule. But then that email address, if families say, no, I really want to talk to the person that's doing it, they can email, is it high school?
High school.
Okay. High school at iLeadExploration.org.
That's right.
Fantastic. And I know, families are still just working toward, getting into second semester and succeeding, but y'all are gearing up for next year, right? The enrollment lottery is coming up. So how can folks who want to enroll at iLead Exploration for maybe next year for their learner place their name in the enrollment lottery? How can they get on that list to attend for 25-26? I can't believe it's already coming.
I know, it's coming quickly. So again, going back to our website, iLeadExploration.org, there's an enrollment tab. If you click on that, it'll take you to the 25-26 enrollment page, fill out all the information. We are hoping everyone who's interested fills out by March 28th. We do plan on having our lottery on April the 4th, April 8th. After that, we will be having a wait list, and people will pull off the wait list as space avails.
Yeah, and that's a real thing, friends. One of the most common emails or phone calls that I get in my office is, Are they taking people off the wait list yet? Am I almost there? Because I know families just clamor to get into your program. Best way is to get involved in that enrollment lottery. Fill out your application for the fall of 2025 today. But I can't help but think there are families out there. I don't want to neglect the families that would say, no, I don't want to wait till the fall. I need to move my kid now. We just moved into the area, or I need to make a change. Things aren't going well where my child is at, or things are going fine, but you guys have blown me away. I want to enroll my kid now. Are you still enrolling for the 24-25 school year, or are we just looking forward to the fall now?
Our enrollment for this year has
Unfortunately,
closed.
Oh,
Yeah.
enrollment has closed for this year. Okay.
At least for high school, yes.
Oh, at least for high school. Okay, interesting. So that is news for my team and I. So it is closed for this year, but you can get your applications in for next year. And like I said, avoid the wait list. Get into the lottery for next school year. And you know that helps give us a heads up. The sooner you apply, the more spaces we know that we need to hire for. And so you can actually help yourself by applying earlier, because then we can hire the EFs, the staff that we need in order to accommodate you and your child. So again, go to iLeadExploration.org, click on the enrollment button, or you can sign up for an information session or just peruse the website. And again, you can email the high school team. Ladies, what's the email address again to reach out directly to the high school team?
highschool@iLeadExploration.org.
Fantastic. Ladies, I want to thank you so much. Jenna Clement and Heather Fecarotta with iLead Exploration's high school team. Thank you for joining me this morning. I know you've got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to it. You have a great weekend. And again, that's iLeadExploration.org. Hit the enrollment button. You can sign up for an information session, or just peruse the website. That's iLeadExploration.org. Reach out to the high school team. Send them a question about the high school experience to highschool@iLeadExploration.org. So, ladies, I thank you for your time. But again, I know you've got to go. It's probably best that you do go now, because when we get back, my big brother's calling, and now I know it's Jen's favorite part of the week, but it's usually my least favorite. He does have trivia. He's got fun facts. He's got life advice that's a little sketch, and all kinds of stuff that you don't need in your lives, ladies. But our listeners won't want to miss out, so stick around. Big T's coming in when we get back. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit PattersonsCollisionCenter.com or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Who says nothing good happens after midnight? Denny's is best known for breakfast served round the clock. You can enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner in a casual atmosphere 24/7. At Denny's, the lunch and dinner menu has a variety of appetizers, burgers, salads, and entrees, along with the best desserts in town. Wherever you live in Santa Clarita, there's a Denny's close by. If you're pulling an all-nighter or just don't feel like cooking, get into Denny's today. Good stuff is happening at Denny's.
The EPA has determined that Chiquita Canyon landfill poses an imminent and substantial danger to the surrounding community. Sethi Orchid Minor is the law firm leading litigation efforts on behalf of residents in Valverde, Castaic, and the greater Santa Clarita Valley, and advocating at all levels of government for a state of emergency, immediate relief to residents, and the forever closure of the landfill. To join thousands of your neighbors in the fight to save our community and get monetary relief, contact us at 855-588-7664 or visit our website at somlawyers.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
And welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And if you are watching on our Facebook live feed, you can see Engineer Andrew is not joining us for trivia. We bid a very tearful farewell to Menji earlier this morning. After 12 years here at KHTS, Andrew Menjivar is going to be moving on to some exciting new opportunities in his life. and Engineer Andrew's having a hard time. So he's taking a knee back in the back room, so we decided we'd bring Menji on for his swan song here. Menji, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Oh, thank you for having me. After so many years listening to you guys, I'm actually now on. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Okay, I can't believe after so many years of listening to my big brother on the radio that you even dared walk in during his segment.
You know, I'm not nervous to go on the radio, but I am nervous for trivia. For whatever strange reason,
Yes.
I'm nervous for trivia.
And I'm looking at Jen here on this side of the counter for once, and she's a little nervous about Tony's life hacks, Tony's life advice. I know those always make you wince a little bit. In fact, let's bring him up. It is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Y'all know Big T. He is an executive and a philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and dog dad. And he recently ordered a personality on Amazon, but clearly they are out of stock. He is, however, Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show. Woo!
Thank you, Maddie. They were out of stock because, Big T needs a big personality.
There we go. Big T always brings it big. Tony, Engineer Andrew, he's getting a little misty this morning. He's taking a knee, so we've got Menji joining us along with Jen. So
awesome. Glad to hear it.
So
I don't think Andrew's getting a little misty, to be honest. In fact, I wanted to ask him. Engineer Andrew posted about a new movie theater in Canyon Country this week, and I wanted to ask who he went to the movies with, but I know the answer. I think it was his mom, right?
With his Valentine's date, yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay. All right, so where are we starting, Tony? We're getting into March Madness. Do you have fun facts? Do you have basketball? Do you have the life advice that Jen waits on pins and needles for every week?
I got a little bit of everything, Maddie. You know what Monday is, right? You got St. Patrick's Day coming up on Monday, so I wouldn't be a true Irishman if I didn't touch on that. Do you like snakes, Frogger?
Do I like snakes? No, I do not.
Right. Would you celebrate if someone got rid of all the snakes?
All the snakes?
Yeah.
All the snakes. Yeah, I'd celebrate that.
Yes. Whether it was true or not, would you still celebrate?
As long as you've got a dram of Irish whiskey for me, yes.
Yes. Guinness and Irish whiskey all around on Monday.
There we go.
Now, we've heard of St. Patrick's Day. Have you heard of Arthur's Day?
Okay, so I am familiar with Arthur's Day only from my conversations with my big brother. Menji, do you know what Arthur's Day is?
No, I just know Arthur the cartoon on PBS.
So let me set it up. Arthur Guinness was the founder of Guinness Brewery. So Arthur's Day, it's now a series of music events worldwide, but originally in 2009, it was created to promote the 250-year anniversary of Guinness signing their contract in Dublin. The 2009 event took place internationally, but highlighted in Dublin. Now, no surprise, Big T was there. I can't remember whether it was 2009 or 2010, but we were there to celebrate Arthur's Day. So it was highlighted. Guinness drinkers were asked to raise a glass of Guinness in memory of Arthur at 17:59 or 5:59 p.m. and hoist it up and say, "To Arthur." Arthur's Day became a national Irish holiday. Not on August 27th, the day that he signed the contract. The holiday was August 28th, so you could sleep off any shenanigans from the night before. Okay?
All righty.
Many high-profile figures in the Irish community did not like that, and they criticized Guinness for making it a cynical piece of exercise in a country that has a huge drinking problem. A boycott of the event was organized by the Royal College of Physicians. They touted a 30% increase in ambulance call-outs, as well as the doubling of alcohol-related liver disease due to the event. So normally every story has a happy ending, not this one. The last Arthur's Day was 2013 when Guinness canceled their 2014 event. Boo.
Right.
Insurance probably wouldn't host them.
I'm sure. Now I always bring stuff for Papa. I got to bring something for Mom on Irish Day. Her favorite Irish limerick.
Irish mother.
May those who love us, and those who don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if He doesn't turn their hearts, may He turn their ankles, so we'll know them by their limping.
There we go. I'll say amen to that.
Nice.
With that, Frogger, before we transition into trivia, I wasn't going to bring one, but I can't leave Jen hanging. So one life hack, and Big T's been been living off this his entire life. If you can't blind them with brilliance, baffle them with nonsense.
There we go.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
It's our day-to-day. I like that one.
I love it.
Yeah.
So Menji, I know you've been listening. I just want to remind you the rules. Tony's got trivia, kind of like Jeopardy. You've got to hit your buzzer in order to chime in. Your buzzer is your name.
Okay, got
so
it. Yeah.
for whatever reason during this segment, my name is Frogger. And then Tony will recognize you answer. Those of you at home, you don't have to hit your buzzer. You can get the drop on us, see if you can beat us. But I don't know. I haven't had anybody call in and say that they've beaten us yet. Frogger. No, I'm Frogger. Big T, what do you got for us?
All righty. A couple topical things. I was hoping Andrew would be there for this one. But who's the only player in NBA history with 4,000 or more three-point baskets?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Heard that while I was getting ready for work this morning. As of last night, it is Steph Curry.
It is Steph Curry.
Okay.
Who's number 2 on the list and the only other NBA player with 3,000 or more three-pointers?
Okay.
Do you know this, too?
I did. Apparently, we listened to the same sports show in the morning. That would be James Harden.
Awesome. All righty.
I'm only going to take 1 point for both of those.
No, fair's fair.
No,
you retained
Menji, you're right. He only gets 1 point for both of those.
No,
Yeah,
but he retained
thank
it.
you,
That's
thank you.
impressive.
I also retain a lot of water.
Don't worry, Menji. We'll give you a chance to get back on the board.
Okay,
Current
thank you.
internet sensations. Who are Jackie and Shadow?
Jen.
Jen.
Those little baby eagles that everybody is following along.
Oh, is that what we had streaming in the newsroom?
Yes, probably.
That's exactly. We had eagles in there. I didn't know that was the name.
And I call every animal a baby. They're grown adults with little eggs underneath them.
Yeah.
Little baby eggs.
I didn't know that was their names, but
That's
I was
the mom
actually
and dad,
I was in one of our
yeah.
classrooms the other day and they were having sushi for breakfast. It was nice. Yeah.
Sushi for breakfast.
They were. They had half a salmon there that they were just picking away at.
All righty. Everybody is on the board. Big T got surprised on our guest, but everybody's still on the board. Menji is leaving KHTS. What's the name of the morning show that he's going to join?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Menji?
should I beat you to it?
That would be The Woody Show.
Nice.
That would be The Woody Show. Correct. Hey, Frogger, I know Menji's been there for 12 years, but he's only had his own show for what, like 2 months? And then he gets this huge offer coming through. Frogger, how long have we been doing this?
We've been doing this, it seems like hundreds of years, baby.
Hundreds of years, baby. Have you got a call yet, Frogger?
I have not gotten the call yet, but I'm biding my time.
I'm wondering if people thought I changed my number up here, and that's why they didn't call, but we'll keep waiting. Which of the 7 wonders of the world is located in Egypt?
Frogger. Oh.
Frogger.
It's not the Grand Canyon. That would be the pyramids.
The pyramids of Giza, correct. What's the primary ingredient in hummus?
Jen.
Jen?
Chickpeas.
Chickpeas is correct.
That's fun to say.
Where did the band ABBA form?
Menji. Would that
Menji.
be Finland?
Incorrect.
Okay, Frogger.
Frogger.
It's somewhere up there, so if I get it wrong, you better get it right, Jen. I'm going to go Norway.
Norway is incorrect.
No!
Is it Sweden?
Sweden is correct. Nice pull, Jen.
Process of elimination.
One of the Slavic countries.
Morocco?
So, Frogger, obviously today's Pie Day, 3.14.
It is.
What was the top-selling pie in America in 2024?
Frogger. Boston cream.
Incorrect. Menji, you mentioned it this morning.
Oh, is it apple?
Apple pie is
There,
correct.
got to go with the classics.
Look at that. For the record, Frogger, I just do want to note that Big T does listen to Menji's show. Not sure the other way around.
Oh.
Okay. No, he said he
fired.
listens. Yeah, shots fired. Tony's a little self-conscious.
All right, we got a couple of questions for Papa. I hope he's listening. Who's the current host of Jeopardy?
Frogger.
Ken
Jennings.
Ken Jennings, correct. Who's the current host of The Tonight Show?
Oh, Menji. Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon's correct. Who's the current host of Wheel of Fortune?
Frogger.
I'm
going to take a guess. Ryan Seacrest hosts everything in town.
Yeah, that is a good guess. He does host everything in town. He's got all the shows on his network.
All the shows.
Who's the current host of Family Feud?
Oh, Menji, Steve Harvey?
Yeah, your man Steve Harvey. That's it.
Papa was banging his TV tray on that one.
Who's the current host of the new game show, The Floor?
the floor. Menji, I'm just going to say Wayne Brady.
Incorrect.
Frogger. LeVar Burton.
Frogger. No, it is not LeVar Burton. Famous actor. Jen, you got anything?
Yeah, Jen's mentoring right now.
Okay. It is Rob Lowe. It's actually a pretty solid show if y'all like trivia.
Oh, no, I do like tongue twisters, and I want to know how many lows would Rob Lowe rob if Rob Lowe could rob lows?
As much as a woodchuck.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, Big T, we do have to stop there and get rolling. But Menji, you came in for the first time and took it.
Well, I did?
You did. You won.
Hey, look at that.
But we're going to cut this celebration short. We've got to wrap it up. Big T, thanks for swinging by. We'd also like to thank our guests, City Council member Patsy Ayala, from the high school team at iLead Online, Jenna Clement and Heather Fecarotta, producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, engineer Jen. Menji, thank you so much, and God bless you, brother. And thank you all for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, and join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.